You're welcome to this channel. This is The Real You, and my name is Patricia. And this is the place where we talk about life. I call it the school of life, the classroom where we learn life. Because life is made up of principles, and anybody who applies the principles gets it right. Sometimes some of these principles do not come in a straight jacket. In some places, 1 plus 1 could be 2. But in sometimes 1 plus 1 may not be 2, and you may find it very difficult to prove it. Sometimes some people do things rightly, and sometimes some people do things not too rightly, but they get to become people who leave their footprints on the sands of time. And we're here in this earth, we're here on this earth to play in the arena of life. Life does not give people certain things with which you can create the things that you want. And so it's no longer news. HildaBaci is officially recognized by Guinness World Record as the holder of the person who has cooked the most hours. She cooked for 100 hours, but the judges were able to remove 7 hours because of some things that they noticed. But while we were waiting for the official confirmation for Hilda to be the new record holder of the single or an individual who had cooked the most hours, on the 9th of June 2023, Dami Adeparasin came on air, and then she began to cook. A lot of people began to talk about her, but I'm not here to cast aspersions. People were saying, of course, usually people would always be for or against. But you know what we do in this channel? We look at things, we look at places, we look at people, we look at events, and we draw principles of life and we use them to apply to ourselves. We educate ourselves using the things that happen around, so that we can be the very best version of ourselves. And so I'm not here to talk about who is best, who is better. Some people have done that, and I don't know the criteria with which you would use to judge one person better than the other. But I'm here to talk about how Dami won this cookathon, how she cooked for 120 hours. But I'm here to talk about the fact that a young girl decided to do something extraordinary. Before this time, you will agree with me that I personally didn't know there was a name or a person bearing the name of Damilola Adeparasin. But I now know her. And once you type, or if you type into Google or any internet space, you will see that a lot of things are said about her. People will tell you 5 things you didn't know about her. So I got to find out that she's even an undergraduate. She's yet to have a university degree. All these are things people never knew about her. People never knew where she was from. But today, it's a different ballgame entirely. That's what I want to talk to us about. Now, before I say a few things that I want us to go home with as lessons, I'd like to tell you, please, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscription button and then the bell icon, so that next time I do a video like this, because what we do here is to educate and to inspire us to be the best versions of ourselves. Now, if you look at these two people, HildaBaci is an inspiration. Nobody can take that away from her. At her age, she went into applying for and become a title holder in the Guinness World Records, which is a great achievement, if you ask me. And she planned it very well. She took time to do her planning. So she had a dream, she planned, she got a team that worked with her. Fantastic team. Without the team, she couldn't have made it. And she persevered, she was determined, and she came through with it. She had a wonderful support team. Nobody can take away that from her. Now, those are very wonderful things that people have talked about, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying this to tell us that you can't take away the fact that this young lady, Hilda, really did her planning. She did invest into it. She took time to prepare to do what she wanted to do. But guess what? That's not what anybody can say about Dami because she never planned. I think it may just have been a spontaneous thing. But one thing you also can't take away from her is the fact that she was spontaneous. She was determined. You know what we call the I can do it spirit. You can't take away that from her. I don't know if she actually cooked by the rules. I don't know if she applied. There's controversy about it. Whatever the case may be, you could see somebody who did not aim for something low. Like it's generally said that if you aim to the stars, you don't get there, at least you'll be somewhere in the cloud. And that's what she did. She did not even say, I'm just going to cook for 100 hours. She decided to surpass the record that was set by the last person who cooked. And you will also agree with me that she decided to go into doing the extraordinary. And like you know, if you have been following me on this channel, one of the things that I say again and again is the fact that if you don't go out there on the field of life to play, you will not be known. I know somebody came up to say Dami is just being pushed by her pastor or whoever. Somebody said Dami is just being pushed by her pastor or whoever. Whoever pushed her, kudos to the person. But you could talk with somebody from today till tomorrow or next year or whatever, and the person could decide that I'm not going to do it. So she already, as a person, is somebody who believes that she can do anything. And so the pastor just put her in the right place, or whoever spoke to her that convinced her, just put her in the right place to do what she needed to do. Now, there's also a saying that goes like this, that work very hard, that you don't need to introduce yourself. And I think that's just one other thing that Dami has done. Today, she can walk into any place and say, my name is Damilola, Adeparasin, and then they would, oh, are you the one that cooked for 120 hours? And the answer will be yes. And I guess doors will be open for her. But people who are out there, who are laughing at her, who are making comments, they don't know you. And like I say, as long as you are in the crowd, you will never be known. She stepped out of the crowd. Don't forget that. Like I say in my book, Pearls, Tested and Proven Secret, this is one person who has decided to step out of the crowd to go into the arena of life to play. And again, like I always say to us in this channel, that there are only two sets of people in this life: those who play and those who watch people who play. Those who watch can make all the comments, make all the complaints, do all the judgments and everything. But it is only those who play that are given awards, only those who play that their footprints are left on the sands of time. Right now, Dami has made a name for herself. The governor's wife from Ekiti State has identified with her. The Federal University of Technology in Ekiti has also identified with her. I'm told some other person had also identified with her to take her on a tour in the US. And I know she's going to get several endorsements. That only happened because she stepped out. Now, I want to say some things again about Dami. It's a fact that I think she borrowed or she followed the slogan of Nike that says, just do it. Sometimes some of us would want to wait for everything to be perfect. Can I tell you something? There is never a time everything would be perfect. So she just did it. She didn't look, the place, the venue where she was having it didn't look too fantastic, but she just did it. There's never going to be a time where everything would be perfect, because if you wait for that time, then you're not going to do what you have to do. So she just did it. And the one that interests me most of all is the fact that she broke every rule. When I mean every rule, honestly, she broke every rule to break the record. That's the one that interests me. She broke all the rules. Number one, you were supposed to apply, you were supposed to wait for some time, they were supposed to respond to you, they were supposed to give you guidelines. I mean, the Guinness World Record was supposed to give you guidelines and all that. While some people say she applied and then she didn't get a response, but the truth is that she was supposed to wait and get a response before she starts the cooking. But she went ahead. She broke the record of applying. She broke the record of waiting. She broke the records that, everything has to be in place. So she didn't follow the guideline. Now that is the spirit of life. In life, If you don't go out there to announce yourself, you will be there and you will not be noticed. How would you announce yourself? It's when you go out to do something, regardless of what people are saying, regardless of the perfect setting, regardless of time, because this is the only time that you have. Today she's done something and she's different. She stood out. She's made a name for herself. Hmm. So what are we waiting for? What do you want to do? Just do it. What do you want to do? Just don't wait. Don't wait for the perfect time, because that perfect time is now. Dami just did it. And today she has sponsors and she's going to have more and more sponsors. And she's paved her way into stardom. Whether she went by the rules or not is immaterial. But I'm sure she's learned a thing or two. And me and you were here to learn from the things that happen around us. So as I recap this, I want us to understand that while HildaBaci played by the rules of the game, somebody stuck out her neck to say, hell no, I can also do it. See the spirit, I can also do it. And I am not just doing what every other person has done, I'm doing something different. 120, it's never been done before, so I go that. I'm leaving everybody behind and I'm stepping out into the playing field of life. Honestly, do you know what? It takes a lot of courage for anybody to go into that. I will be talking about that maybe in another video. How we need to be afraid of fear and just step out there. We didn't know she could cook. We didn't know she was a chef. I'm not sure she even has maybe a restaurant to her name or all that. But now all that is history and she has stepped into the arena of life. Again, as I bring this video to a close, I want to ask you, what do you think you can do? There is no better time. Just do it. Like they say in Nike, step out and do it. It's the attempt that people are looking for. While there's a place of perfection, there's a place of just stepping out to do it. I don't know what you've learned today, but Dami has broken all the rules to break a record. Dami did something extraordinary. Dami did not wait for the perfect timing. Dami did not do what one would have ordinarily thought that she would have done. She has just decided to create a pathway for herself and she has put herself in her own wonderful records. Today, she is a household name. Just in case you're new here, once again, this is The Real You. This is a channel where we talk about life. When we look at life, we educate ourselves from the things we see around us. And we've just learned from Dami that you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect. You can just do it and become that wonderful person. Until I come your way again, please don't forget to make your comments. What do you think? I'd like to get your comments. What do you think about what Dami did? What do you think about her breaking the rules? What do you think about her just going out there and doing what you think? What do you think about it? What have you learned? I'd like to get your comments, and please hit the like button and please share this video so YouTube can recommend it. For those of you that have been my regular subscribers, I really appreciate you. But if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and let me know your thoughts on this. Until I come your way again, remain blessed. And to you, Dami, kudos. Congratulations. Greater heights. Bye-bye and stay blessed.